Hello Virgo, this is going to be your August reading. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. If you are returning, thank you for coming back to sit for a while. There are still some planets retrograding, so please be aware if you'd like to check your chart and see how that is impacting you. There are places to find free charts online. Please be aware if this reading is something that does not give your heart joy, if it does not resonate with you, simply turn it off. There's no need to stress yourself out or leave comments about how stressed out you are. If the reading didn't resonate, there's so many beautiful readers that are there to accommodate you and hopefully whose energy will resonate with yours. And we all do this for free because we really, I hope, I know I do, really love you guys and care for your well-being and want you to do well. That's why I do it. So, that being said, Virgo, let's see what's going on for you in August. Virgo, some worry here. I'm seeing two different things happening for some of you. Worry about the outcome of a situation. But for some of you, you guys are getting really deep about a situation, like philosophical deep about something. And it's freaking you out. And you really, you're doing the like a child of why thing. Like, I want to know why is this doing this? And somebody answers your question, you're like, but why? And they're like, because of this. And you're like, but why? And they're like, because of that. And you're like, but why? And all of those whys are, you really want to know, you're driving the why into the floor. And your anxiety is way, way, way up. So much so that it is really tampering with your inner light. It has you way off balance. It is completely affecting your performance in every way, which differs a great deal from the readings I've done for Virgos in the last couple of months. And it has you feeling so burdened and feeling like you're going in so many directions. You're feeling like you have to take care of all of these whys and hunt down all of the threads of this why. And you're really looking for this one big answer. You want a big answer. You don't want like a little Reader's Digest thing. You want like the big, like, what is the meaning of life sort of level. That's not your question, but you want that kind of like, you want exactly what this card looks like beams coming out of the sky. You know, it's very rare that the cards are literal. They're symbolic of other things, and you really have to read them with, you know, what is next to them And there are so many different combinations, but in this case, this is literally what you want. You want a hand to come down from the sky and hand you a giant piece of knowledge. For some of you, it could be about money. So in the middle of all of this, by the way, somebody comes in and they're in the middle of this arid desert of your seeking, if you will, your knowledge seeking, and they're willing to kind of give you a hookup. They're like, hey, do you want to hook up? And you're like, yeah. But it's more of a distraction. It's not really, you're not like, yeah, okay. Now listen, recently I've done some readings and I've talked about this, and the majority of you guys are so lovely and beautiful with your comments. 98% of you. So that leaves 2%. Well, out of that 2%, one of you, the 1%, will politely disagree and say, you know, some of the reading was like, it hit home, and then like, some of it didn't. And it, more often than not, when it comes to me talking about the sexuality of things, these readings, you know, and that's fine. You guys can disagree with a reading. That's fine. It would be so boring if everyone agreed with everyone. And then 1% of people in my comments will go absolutely mental, saying, how dare, and I know these are the people that don't listen to the whole reading. You can tell they're forwarding through. They'll say, how dare you accuse me of being promiscuous or having sexual feelings or whatever. Guys, I'm not sitting one-on-one doing readings with people. Number 2, sexuality is not a dirty thing. It's a beautiful thing and a natural thing, and that speaks more about other people. And I think we need to take some of the stigma out of sexuality being terrible. Also, I don't judge what people do. So let me put that in here because it seems to be affecting some people in a way. Also, if you are married or in a committed relationship, clearly this is not for you. I would assume for some of you, somebody coming in for a quick hookup does not apply to you. But for some of you it does, and that is who we are discussing here. Some of you will be experiencing a quick hookup. I won't be doing any more of those disclaimers because it breaks my concentration. So regarding those people, Virgo, you get a quick hookup here. But it doesn't give you the satisfaction you're looking for. I think typically, you know, in the past it's given you a feeling of, oh, and the person is problematic on top of that. I think in the past, a hookup here and there may have rejuvenated you in some way. Because it can, you know, connecting with someone sexually can be a rejuvenating experience. But this person, and you have had some of that, by the way. Yeah, you have had this energy, Virgo, where you've been doing this really charitable, you've had this charitable energy about you, and you've even been hooking up with some people that are questionable, but for you it's been, I don't want to call it an act of charity, but that's how you view it. You like these sort of people who maybe are the underdogs, and you've been into that because for you, you're able to disconnect from these people, but this will also be a sort of problematic person. And in the past readings that I've given for Virgos, this sort of energy that you've been exchanging with people. You're able to disconnect, but it leaves you feeling rejuvenated. And so that's been okay. It does not have that effect this time around. In fact, Virgo, what is happening for you is you're coming to a place of feeling you're just getting just a twinge of longing for a family connection. It's not putting a deep dent in you, but it's there. And though you may have financially what you need, it's beginning to feel a bit hollow. And these successes that you have been having are starting to feel a bit, they're internally, they're feeling to be a bit of a clash. So I know that doesn't make too much sense, but that's what you're feeling. You're feeling like you have a lot of success, maybe financially. You're feeling good about things. Let's clarify this a little bit. But again, it almost feels like you'd like to leave it behind temporarily and go experience something else. And that has been a theme for some of the signs in August. This must be something happening in the cycle of 2019, because this happened at the end of 2018 or the top of 2019. And there has been a discussion in the world of astrology about this type of a cycle. Yeah, and this is very much surrounding, let's see if I can move this over a little bit. This is surrounding work versus more of a romantic connection. Let me see if I can get some of this over for you guys so you can see what I'm seeing here. Because I know this is out of the frame here. Get a little bit over. There we go. I think most of those are in. Can you guys see all of those? I think so. Ah, there we go, Virgo. Somewhere more into September, more into the beginning of September, you guys have a moment where things flip over emotionally. And you have a tower moment. But again, my feeling on the tower is that those moments are always built on something that was never stable in the first place. And you start to think about what the next phase of things will be for you based on achievements that you already have, what the good side of those have been and the negative as well. So you're very fair with yourself. And how you will build the next portion of your foundation. And it's a beautiful feeling for you. It's one of, let's put this over here, there you go. It's one of victory. I don't think it's something you want to share with everyone because you're not so steady on your feet about how you'll construct this next phase. And I don't want to go too much further into it because then you're going into September. I don't like to do that too much because I think it gets dangerous giving any human being a look so far into things. I think it can make people anxious and make them worry. But I think it's the phase coming is one where this reevaluation And maybe this is what you were thinking about up here, what that next phase will be. But the questions are deep. And you do succeed in getting that answer, or at least formulating for yourself what you think that will be. And I think, let's take this deck and look. A lot of change in your world. Even some really really elemental things in your universe shifting and changing. A lot of things with cycles. You're ready to come into some new cycles, Virgo. A lot of things with different steps coming in. More with the Chariot. You already had that here. I mean, again, there's a little bit to do with some doubt coming in, but that's normal if you're sort of tilting your world all around. Yeah, more with that Tower moment. I mean, this is, it's all a confirmation about these cycles. And again, with some of that, this card moved a little when I shifted everything. I mean, this is, I think this is a really nice time for you. I think it's going to be a time that freaks you out a little bit. I think anytime you're looking deeply into yourself like that, it can be scary. We have cards that don't want to. Okay, well, we'll see what we have here. We have a yes card. We have romance. And we have not the right time. Is it not the right time for romance? What are we doing? No on the romance. Don't stop. And unlikely. I mean, it may not be the right time to get deeply involved in anything romantic. If you're already married and you had plans to take on a big project, I would say this is not the right time for that. If you are single and you were thinking about taking on some type of commitment, this may not be the right time, as you yourself are going through a big transition internally. And I am of the thought that until you know, are that, I mean, this is, the way the cards line up, it's so beautiful. Because they're transition pieces. You know, you start here. This is you thinking and confronting a different self, and then coming out here in a different state. I mean, it's so beautiful. So, you know, I think until you get to the end of that transition, or at least feel like you're on solid ground, Virgo, you should be the focus, you know, of your energy. Such a beautiful reading. So, Virgo, you know, feel free to interact with the reading in any way that you like. And we will talk again in September. Take care.